A few more back markers going to lose to the left hand side. Oh my god, that was too close, that was too close, that was too close. Move to the right hand side. Remember, before we get going, be sure to like, comment and subscribe to Race Department.
Welcome to Silverstone, home of the British Grand Prix. This iconic track held the very first World Championship Formula One race back in 1950, and it's a firm favourite amongst the fans and drivers alike.
Hello everybody and welcome then to the classic race 50%. It's going to be in Schumacher's 2002 Ferrari around Silverstone short. So 26 laps of the short circuit. The lights are going up and we are away. And it looks like we've actually got quite a good start there. Already a launch and a number of the cars. We swing to the left hand side. We're going to have to hold the outside line in turn number 1. Almost contact. We've been able to get through. Oh, there was contact then. A collision there. That it seems like we've got a warning for. I don't know why though. It didn't seem like it was too major, but coming through the first sector and we are up into P number 4. Going on to lap number 2, then we're in this battle for a podium, which is nice because I tried to record this in the cockpit camera, but I just could not get into a fight with the podium. I kept on spinning and corner cutting and getting penalties for it, so I am running with strict corner cutting rules in this one. I did try to do it in cockpits, that's what a lot of you wanted to see, but I just could not drive. I kept on cutting the corners, so you have to stick with this camera. But we see a slight little battle going on for P number 2 just in front, and maybe we can get involved in that. If I'm not mistaken, there are 2 Ferraris and a McLaren in front of it. Korea is in the McLaren, Lawson in the Ferrari, and same with Lottonero, who is leading this race, and we're all sitting in the Ferrari as well. 2002 and 2004 Ferraris, I think, are the fastest cars in the C1 class, which we're racing in. The C2 class, which is below us, I believe it's the McLarens, which are the fastest car now. However, once we see the results, we shall see which ones are actually the fastest. Coming along the hangar straight now, and this is where we can get the slipstream from the much slower Red Bull. We actually follow Lawson's slipstream. We're going to go up the inside, sorry, of the McLaren. A little bit of contact is going to damage our front wing. Even more contact is going to knock off the end plate of that front wing. As you can see, the left hand side there, no end plate, and that front wing is going to start to wobble when we come onto the main straights and the hangar straight, because it's just going to be so much air going through it. It's already wobbling as we're running over the apexes. On to lap number 8 then. We're just trying to fight this car with the damaged front wing all the way until our pit stop on lap 13. The yellow flag comes out momentarily for some back markers ahead, because it's really difficult getting past these back markers, definitely through the club complex. We're going to get past Mikowski there, big contact, and we've actually lost half our front wing now. Look at that, the left hand side of our front wing is completely pulled off, and that is not what we want to see at all, but we're going to continue around and fight it. Now, we have just been asked in a moment whether we want to change our strategy. I say no. I'm going to keep it with this and see how well the car behaves with only half a front wing. It understeers a lot more than it used to, as you can see through there as we go onto the hangar straight. But apart from losing downforce on the main straights and losing speed along there, it doesn't actually hamper my driving too much, and I got used to it by the time I had to come into the pits, as we've still got some more back markers to get through here, because it was very close to contact into turn number 1. But now behind Murray, who sits in P16 and I believe P6 in class, as we continue around here. We've got about 3 laps to go until our pit stop, and we can repair this front wing. Trying to get past Ozumi. I couldn't actually turn in, so we had to go around the outside of Ozumi, and then the car turned in and we hit Ozumi. Luckily no warning, but it's annoying that actually that front wing did hinder us a little bit through Stowe. Into club, we're behind Atier, and we're going to try and get up yet another back marker. Now this slower class is quite difficult to get past through certain points in the corner on the course, and that's the club complex and also this village complex up here. And annoyingly, they're the 2 major overtaking locations as well. But when you're getting to the slower cars, it does hinder you a lot. Onto the lap that we're going to come into the pits, lap 13. We're actually going to be overtaken by Waldmuller here, who goes through up to P number 3. It's not going to matter too much because we are going to come into the pit lane here now. As we come in, we enable the pit limiter. I accidentally disable it, enable it again, and only just get down to speed in time for the pit stop. Coming in then, this is going to take quite some time because we have to change our front wing. We're going to lose all those 3 positions of the cars who were behind us. We're going to get away, Very long stop indeed, 9.5 seconds. On our outlap though, we're going to catch up to a back marker there. We're going to get past him nice and easily. And as you can see, a number of people coming into the pits, but we're chasing these 3 cars who stopped with us and were able to jump us in the pits because we were changing our front wing. So we're going to be in this battle, which I believe is going to be a net 4th position here, as we're coming up to about 12 laps to go. Obviously that 1 lap since our pit stop, so we're only 1 lap into the stint, and already big oversteer there. We overcorrect it into the village complex. That was not an overtaking corner. Unfortunately, the wheel then stepped down and it forced me to go to that line. And we stay behind at the moment, but we're going to be able to get the slipstream of Koya, and this very much could be an overtake on the McLaren because how much it loses along the straights. Look at that, going to close up to Koya. We're going to go for the inside of Stowe. The McLaren gives us almost no room on the inside that we're squeezed up against. We're still there, but he gives us even less room now. We have to take to the grass to avoid contact. We've been able to hold the outside line, going to get the inside the next corner. Again, almost no room by the McLaren. He's going as aggressive as he possibly could, but he was the reason we damaged the front wing slightly in the first place. Into turn number 1 though, we are past Koya and we're up into P number 6, and we get the perfect racing line now into the village complex, hugging the first apex and continuing to do so throughout the rest of the corner. Catching up to Giles now, this is P number 5, he's in the Renault. We're going to swoop to the right hand side. This should be an easy overtake into the inside. There's a little bit of contact into village. We've been able to do it, and we're going to get onto the short part of the course and back onto Hanger Straight. A little bit of oversteer, but we've been able to hold that. Later onto lap number 18, we get 16 from Makowski, now onto Belasov, and we'll be able to move it up into P number 4. A lovely, easy move indeed. Now it's all about catching Roth, who sits on the podium, as we were about 13 seconds behind at that point in the race. And now we're going to continue. We're going to move to the inside of Marino. This is just the next lap. And let's see how much we've been able to close on Roth. It was about 13 seconds before. We've already been able to half that indeed. It's 6 seconds. There must have been some issues with Roth. So we've been able to close up a lot of time. We're going to look to the inside of Lavesia. Can't quite do it into village. Going to have to wait behind for now. Move to the outside. A bit of oversteer almost sends us into the Williams, but luckily no contact. Even more oversteer going on to Hanger Straight. Continuing on, we've held the same gap, about 5 seconds to ourselves and Ross here on 21. We're going to move to the outside. A bit oversteer. Oh my god, we're going to go around. We're actually sending Michael Schumacher's car around on the grass. We're going to get back onto the circuit backwards at almost contact with some of the C2 cars. And that was Belasov going through as well in our C1 class. Another C2 car going through. We've only lost 1 position with that, but we're going to lose a lot of time to Belasov, and we've only got about 5 laps to pull that back. The next lap then we're behind Murray, and we're going to try and get up the inside in the village. Can't quite do it. The Williams holding off. We go for the inside through the left-hander. Very close to contact, very close to corner cutting. Definitely with the strict rules, but luckily able to only just hold it together as we continue on here on lap number 22 out of 26. As we now go on to the next lap, onto lap 23, actually onto lap 24. In fact, we're going to be chasing up a few more back markers. We're going to lose to the left hand side. Oh my god, that was too close, that was too close, that was too close. We move to the right hand side, able to get through the rest of the back markers, but that was a little bit too close as I pushed just a little bit too much, I think, trying to catch up to Belasov. But will it pay off with only 2.5 laps to go? Will we actually be able to catch up to Belasov? And the answer was yes, we will. 1 lap to go in this, and we're about 2 seconds behind Belasov, which sounds like a lot, but come onto the Hanger Straight. Actually, it's only 1 second behind Belasov. So we come onto the Hanger Straight, we'll be able to close it up like nobody's business onto the Red Bull, as we now come into the village complex of corners. And that's Marie Lawson, who is going to win the race today in the C1 class, and he would have been in the Ferrari 2004. We're chasing down on Belasov now. We're going to go into Slipstream Kaufman, move to the left hand side, move back to the right, go on Slipstream Makowski, move back to the left, and we're going to stay on the left of Belasov. We're going to be able to move up into P number 4. It's not a podium, but P4 is nice after our big spin and the fact that we ran so long with a damaged front wing and so long with only half a front wing. Coming through the final corners, and we're going to be able to hold it on the Red Bull and come across the line for P number 4. Big oversteer though, only just able to hold it together as we come across the line, and we're going to get P number 4 here at the Silverstone Short Grand Prix for the 25% race. Amazing.
Welcome then to the podium, our top 3 drivers. What a great effort from them today in a very difficult race. That's it for today's Grand Prix, and from Ant and I, it's goodbye and see you again next time.
In the C1 class then, Marie Lawson wins overall with Jay Letourneau in 3rd. Lucas Roth finished in 3rd in the Red Bull. We weren't able to catch up. It was actually 10 seconds up the road in the end. We finished in 4th though with Belousov, Giles, Correa, Barnes, Forrest and Wardmuller, our teammate, 5 laps down in the end, finishing at the rear of the C1 class. Into the C2 class, and it was Mourinho who won that in the 1998 McLaren along with his teammate Clark. The Ferrari of Kaufman in 3rd, and we got Coppens and Murray 4th and 5th. Attier 6th, Lezier 7th. This is overall though, and it was Lawson who won, Letourneau in 3rd, obviously that was continuing, but there were a few of the C1 classes actually mixed within the C2s. Aaron Barnes was down the order, no, Aaron Barnes did finish, sorry, in the C1 mix, but Alain Forrest in 13th finished within the C2s, and same with Gord Woodmuller, who finished at the bottom of the overall standings. Thank you very much for watching this classic race, and I hope you see you in the next one.